If you already carry a firearm, do you really need pepper spray too? A lot of people think it's one or the other, but I'm here to explain why that's not the case. You don't have to be just a firearm person or just a pepper spray person. It's typically a false choice because of the lack of understanding around the force continuum. So in this video, we're going to break that down. There are different tools for different jobs, right? So let's talk about what those are in the self-defense realm. A firearm is a lethal force tool, while pepper spray is a non-lethal force tool. The benefit of having both is that situations in real life often do not begin with the need to jump into lethal force. They typically start in the gray or more nuanced zone. This is where people are trying to talk their way into your space, and you don't want to wait until they're about 3 feet from you to deploy, a strike or pepper spray. In fact, certain pepper sprays, including palm, can spray anywhere from 10 to 12 feet. Pepper spray is often referred to as the 10-foot eye jab because it does give you the capability to create space with the tool without having to be right in front of a person. These gray zones may look like someone not wanting to leave you alone, someone escalating verbally and not respecting your ask to stay back, and someone acting aggressively but not necessarily deadly, which of course those things escalate quickly. That's why there's so much nuance, and it's good to have tools to help escalate as a situation may. There may be situations where drawing a firearm may be legally unjustified. In addition, it could escalate a situation inappropriately. In other words, why not have a non-lethal tool that is that tool between the harsh word and the gunshot that you at least have the opportunity to deploy? Of course, nothing we're saying in this video or on this channel is legal advice. We are simply trying to educate you so that you can be a more informed consumer and protector. Let's talk about why firearms don't solve every problem. There are situations where you need to create distance without deploying lethal force. A good example of this may be if you're out walking your dog and another aggressive dog comes and runs towards you. If you're in a neighborhood with children, families around, it's not the best time to pull out a firearm and fire at, say, someone's pet. Pepper spray can be a great tool to deter that dog or animal from coming any closer and give you the opportunity to have a tool between that, verbal yelling at the dog and the deployment of something like a firearm in a public space. Ultimately, this is all very subjective to the experience and the exact situation you're in, so just be aware you'll have to train yourself to be able to know how to, of course, move along that force continuum and maybe implement more lethal means. Pepper spray is that tool that can give you an option before the use of lethal force. Let's talk about how pepper spray adds to your self-defense setup. We talked about how it can spray up to 10 to 12 feet, right? So think about this. In order to actually eye jab, strike, elbow someone, you need to be within a certain distance. But if you're able to deploy pepper spray, you have something that is, in other words, a 10-foot eye jab. It's especially valuable when there are bystanders nearby, the environment is tight or chaotic, and/or you're dealing with someone with unknown intent. For example, if someone just came from a car accident and they're feeling very out of sorts and maybe their hearing is impaired and they're coming up to ask you for help and you're not sure of their intentions and you escalate directly to lethal force when maybe that person genuinely needed help, pepper spray is at least a tool you can implement to help you keep that distance. At the end of the day, the largest misconception with pepper spray is that some people think carrying it means you are less serious about self-defense. But I would argue personally that that is the opposite of the truth. It's not about being softer, it's about being smarter. If you're considering adding pepper spray to your everyday lineup, be sure to buy a brand that sells a trainer. This will allow you to see the exact spray pattern and distance of the pepper spray that you choose. And if you are buying from a brand that doesn't sell the trainer, I would consider what that means for the brand as a whole. Palm Pepper Spray greatly values training, and therefore they have a $6 to $7 trainer available on their website for their top 2 selling models, the clip and the keychain units. Speaking of, be sure to pick a unit that fits best for your lifestyle. We have many videos that go over the difference in the units, and be sure to check out our legal map in order to ensure you are following the legal regulations of the state that you live in. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe before you head out and leave a comment on what you would like to see next. It really helps us understand what we need to share with you all when it comes to selecting pepper spray as a self-defense tool. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.